Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Cultist back again with another stealth video. And today we're going to be talking about the subject of entering into objects to hide. Like, I guess you could make this barrels or boxes or whatever you pleased. But essentially that's what we're doing. We're going to make this fellow jump into this box. First thing we're going to want to do, I've already taken the liberty of making a box sculpt, non-collidable, and you want low physics cost, because it won't be using any physics, at least not this one. We're going to copy it, and we're going to scope into the sculpt, L1 and X, and go ahead and remove these features to the sculpt. Go to spray paint, and we're going to spray paint it white. We're also going to lower the detail because this is not going to be visible. We are going to make it collidable and invisible, and we're going to give it medium physics cost. I might also make it glow just a little bit, just so we can see it easier in the dark. And we're going to group these two individuals. And of course, we're going to add a microchip to act as a mount for our logic. And we're going to add a teleporter, which we will call box place. It will follow after those tags. We're also going to set it to match target orientation. And the position is actually just right. I think we did quite well there. Now I guess we're gonna have to figure out gonna have to put a zone down. This will all make sense later. We're going to label it box place. That's what it detects, a tag called box place, and we're going to make it a cube. And basically when this is active, it's going to change the properties of our box just a little bit. Basically when the player is picking up the box. Then we're going to take out a little node. Stick that in there. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to need a NOT gate. And then stick that in the node. And the node is going to go, we're going to scope in here once with L1 and X, open up this tweak menu, and attach the node to collidability. Then we're going to scope out, open this up, and we're going to attach the node to movable. In case you're wondering how to open that up, it's L1 and square. So basically this is, when this is triggered, it'll trigger the NOT gate, turn it off, and allow this box to be non-collidable and non-movable. For now it is movable, so it will fall on the ground and we can probably move it around with physics and such. We're just going to label that real quick to be neat. Now we're going to go over to our player, and we're going to need a stable something. Ordinarily, I'd probably make a sculpt and add it right here, but Well, actually, we might do that. We're going to add a little sculpt to him. Although I do want to preview invisibility, because I want to make these non-visible. Or at least hide them for the duration while we're working with this. And we're just going to take this, and we're going to scope in and add it to his groinular area. This may seem pretty awkward, but there's a reason why we're doing this. We're going to change it from cam to... what should we call this? We'll call it point. Point 1, whatever. And we're going to delete all this logic we have on here. Okay, that's good. The only reason why I'm using a brick is because we want absolute right angles. We don't want it slightly tilting or anything, because that'll mess up our tag's position. And we need to match target orientation exactly. And we're going to call this box place. Might as well give it some tests as far as what it'll look like. We're also maybe going to want to turn on grid snap and put X over here. We want Z facing forward and Y facing up. That's pretty good. And now we're going to turn off preview invisibility so that we can kind of get some idea of what we're looking at here. Pull this down. We're going to want it at ground level so that when he's crawling, you know, it's... I think that looks pretty good. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe even lower than it needs to be, honestly. We'll just pull it up a tiny bit. That should do it. And we're going to take the liberty of turning this off. We'll be turning it on later, so don't worry about that. And we're going to create a new chip. Pull this over here, I think. And this chip is going to be called... We could call it crouch for now. I don't actually think I have a dedicated crouch button. But what we're sort of working with is actually more of a cover system, I suppose. We did have a method where you would automatically crouch when you were under cover. This is a little different though. What we're going to be doing is trying to have him crouch inside the box. Now, we're going to need a timeline. Put this down here. And we're going to make the timeline green. Connect the node to the timeline. Set the timeline to play once. Take down a NOT gate. Put it right there. Open up the timeline. And add this wonderful doohickey here, a switch connected to the NOT gate, so that when this is playing, it's all hunky-dory. And the button we're going to use for going undercover, you know, getting inside the box, will be circle. I might just take a single node and attach it right here, because we're going to have more of this later. We'll make it red just so we can kind of tell what it is. Now we're going to have him start from this crouching position. I think I'll pull this up here. So we have lots of space. Set it to linear blend. And we're gonna take out this little doohickey here. The keyframe, set it to linear blend also. Now what the green tag is going to do is turn on box place. And angle it up. We want it to be mostly level with the floor. It's going to put this box in position for us. And we're going to alter his pose a bit. So that he's grabbing the edges of the box. That should do. Now we're going to copy this. L1, R2, plus X to copy. And we're going to need precise move again, because it really helps with setting up this box. That's a pretty good position, I think. Why are we having trouble seeing his, should be visible. Well, I don't know how his bottom became invisible, but we've just corrected that issue. Now, what's going on here? Alright, pull this back a bit. We probably want this to be a pretty snappy, quick animation. We're not doing so bad so far. Copy it again. Oops. Make sure you get both of them. Actually, you don't even need to use this particular green frame because the natural position of our tag is where we want the box to be. So if we just take out a new keyframe, a blank one, and set it to linear blend, it should be fine. We will have to alter the animation though. That should be good. Let's make sure this is labeled properly. Okay, box place. Box place. We're also going to need this to shut off his movements. And to shut off his procedural animations. We're going to call it shut as usual. We're also going to need another keyframe. Come to think of it, well, it might be too late to correct. Let's take a look. But I think I'd like a tag separate from these animations. Let's check these all. It'd be better if we have a tag that's separate, so just go ahead, go into all of these and press triangle on the power button. Hopefully this doesn't reset the position of the tag, because we don't want to ruin that. Instead, we'll have an empty tag with nothing else on it that powers on the animation. I think that would work better, especially when it comes to this linear one that shuts off the normal, you know, it's going to put the tag back on the normal position. And when it does that, the power is going to go off, and we wouldn't really want that to happen, so that's a good idea. Now, I think that's just about all we need. At least for the time being. There is, of course, more. We will need a selector. And we will need another switch. We can make this one blue. I might actually pull this down. I want to have this pretty exact if possible. And we're going to put it in the B output. I mean the B input. And we're going to take the B's output and hook it up to the NOT gate's power. Well, no, wait a minute. We're going to take A and hook it up to the NOT gate's power. Don't make the mistake of using B. B will be used later. Then we're going to take out node. Hook B up to the node's input. Place down a microchip. Add this to the power. That should be nice. Now we're going to need this end pose here. Make sure that it's on, or that it has power, I should say. And we're also going to need this, which will also be on. I guess we could call this tag. Just to recall what it is we're doing. Alright, I think that's just about good. Oh, another thing we're going to need. Open up poses. And we're going to copy, I believe it's this. I can't be exactly certain. Is this our parameters? Now this appears to be a pose. What I'm looking for is parameters. Maybe it's in crawl. Yes, there it is, parameters. We'll want that in here. We are going to alter it just a little bit though. So scope in. And the parameters we want to change, we want to leave the run speed on low, or at 0 as it is. The parameters we want to change are the procedural walk animation. That can be off, on, I should say. Now I think that's everything we need on this tag. Or on this microchip. I guess we'll call this in box. Now what we're gonna need, trying to remember. Oh yes, we're gonna need to copy this out. But first, before we do the copying, there is something that we actually do need back here in Tiptoe, which is a detection method. Loud, when you're moving. What I want to do is have it so that when the box moves, enemies can notice that and they'll sight in on you. I also want it so that when they do notice you, you'll automatically throw off the box, but we're going to get to that later. Now what we did with this is we hooked up walking strength and I believe running strength to the calculator. However, we can't use this because it's going to be off during this play, so we're going to want to use this puppet interface instead. And instead of running strength, we're going to use walking strength, because he's not going to be able to run at all while he's in this, you know, state. Alright. Now that we've done that, he should be noticed by the guards when he's moving. And we're going to go ahead and copy this. Oops. Put it right down there. And we're going to make it red, because this is kind of our phase out animation. I tend to make those red. And we're going to hook up B to the power of this NOT gate. And this is going to be hooked up to A, set us back to square one. And shut is going to turn this off. That way none of the things in there will interfere with our animation. And it's going to be a simple matter of just reversing these, just like set them opposite. Now the animation for the puppet itself could be refined, perhaps. But I'm just showing you the basics of how to create this, so I think we're in a good position now. We should be able to start right away. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Why is that all the way down there? Just a moment. Perhaps if we turn on the power but turn off the position, it will work. Oh, by the way, we might want to scope in here real quick and make that visible. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll just go ahead and get it in the right position using the tag. We want to try to get straight up and down. Oh, I have some idea about what's happening too. Turn the slow power up and slow power down on that to 0. That's not what's causing the box to be in its weird position, but it is a factor, probably. And we're gonna go back in here. And delete this final one. Turns out we really will need an animation that's not blank. Although one thing we can do is scope into it, open this up, and just press triangle on the power, because that would be an unnecessary wire. We want to be economical. Oh, another thing we're going to want to do, copy this and set it to the beginning of this. And set it to linear blend. I forgot to do that over here. Linear blend, always good. Now this should probably work correct. Not sure why he does that weird finicky thing. Could be this doesn't go far enough. That could be a possibility. Let's check all of our slow. Alright, that's all good. Another thing it could be is if our tag is still on. Let's pull this back, actually. Probably made a mistake putting it too far. I don't like that annoying little, that little stoppy start thing is really annoying me. Why is he doing that? Let's go ahead and give it a test and find out. Let's try making this longer. We're gonna make it 12 seconds. Or 12%. Oh. Actually, I didn't see any problem there whatsoever. Maybe it's just the speed is kind of janky. We'll try making it a little slower. How about 85%? Could also be that our puppet, let's just turn off this. And just to be careful, we're going to turn off poses too. just to make sure none of that interferes with our, you know, animation. And we're going to change the walkable slope angle of our puppet. I think we can get rid of this. Let's try 65, because he's kind of sliding across the floor. Now his arms are kind of sticking out. I don't think anybody will see that. We're also going to want to go to parameters, scope into our parameters keyframe, and turn down arm vigor to nothing. 0. I also think I want to dim his sound a bit. Sounds a bit loud. We'll just go to parameters and dim the sound. Down to 17%. Make it more sneaky. Now if this works properly, he should only be spotted when he's moving. I'm not even sure we're in range just yet. Well, he doesn't seem to be spotting us so far. In fact, he doesn't seem to be spotting us. Oh, there we go. I guess we walked too close to the sun. I think that's pretty reasonable, though. I don't think it has to be ultra realistic. It depends on what kind of game you're going for. You could probably fix the range. I don't know how far I set his loud range. I think that would be in detection. Yeah, his loud range is not very far at all. I could make it a lot farther. We're doing pretty good, though. Now, I do want to demonstrate how you can put the box back down, and it will now be physical, and it's more realistic, you know. I think you could even use it as a platforming device if you wanted to. Well, except we're having weird collision. Not sure where that's happening. I'm guessing it has something to do with his, probably has something to do with his own collision shape. We're gonna go ahead and be a little sneaky. Oop, we got caught. There may be better ways to improve the detection for this, but for now I think this is a pretty useful video. I think it worked out just fine. Maybe I'll talk about another crouch, you know, like a dedicated crouch button later, in case you don't want to be in the box or something. We'll see about that. But for the time being, let's give a little shout out to our monthly supporters. Oh yes, wonderful people. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss another video. If you wish to support our earnest insanity, you can check the links in the description to donate or buy merch. Until next time, goodbye.